California,
Hi, I'm Jennifer O'Neill. I'm the Activision producer for Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the game today. So there have been 7 games in the series, essentially, this being the 7th. We did 4 Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, which were centered around the pros. Then we moved into the Thug series, which was more about you playing as yourself. And now this is our biggest technical advancement yet. We've got this huge city that you're able to skate all the way through.
We based it more in skating's roots. You know, there's some 70s characters in there, and the whole thing takes place in LA. So LA is one giant level, so there's no load times between different levels or different areas. You know, the whole thing is like, it's just one continuous scrolling level.
One of our cool new features this year that we're really excited about is the new BMX bike. The cool thing about the BMX is that it has its own integrated trick system. So for example, if you get on the BMX bike, you're going to use the analog sticks. The left analog stick is going to control your steering and weight. The right analog stick is for the tricks. And this is just a whole new way that you can play the game. It's like a game in itself. So the story is you're this small town kid from the middle of nowhere. You're having a tough time with your parents. They don't understand you. Your girlfriend's left you for a jock. So you try to come out to LA to get a fresh start. But when you first get here, you have kind of a tough time making friends, but you do eventually make friends with this one girl, Mindy, and she introduces you to this local skate crew whose patriarch, so to speak, is this old school punk rock skate legend named Iggy. This guy Iggy, he's squatting on a piece of land which we find out later has a buried snake run that's also legendary. So the point of the game is to ultimately rebuild the skate park and excavate the snake run. Oh, well, this game appeals to everyone. There's, all different skill levels. We've really tried to make the game more accessible this year. So there's different skill levels, and there's also, we've added the bike mechanic this year. So if you're a brand new player, you want to try something different, you can try the BMX bike. So anybody who likes adventure, action games, it's all there. Thanks for letting me tell you about the game. Be sure to pick it up this fall. Tony Hawk, he is a legendary skateboarder, and he is most famous for his 900, but he's also just huge. He's everywhere.
He's easily the most recognizable name. He's the household name. If you know, even if you're not into skateboarding, chances are you've heard of Tony Hawk from all his mainstream, the X Games and the video game especially. Every kid knows who Tony Hawk is, even if they don't know the first thing about skateboarding.
Well, I know for a fact at E3 he was there signing autographs. I mean, every time he goes, there's a swarm of people around him. He's one of the most well-known and well-respected athletes out there.
He's had this 20-year career of nothing but innovation, and he basically has invented, about 100 tricks. He's won more contests than probably anybody at this point. He's done more for skateboarding than arguably anyone. And he's also a fantastic candidate for our skateboarding's ambassador to the real world, basically. It's silly to think about in hindsight, but in the early 90s, skateboarding was dead, and vert skating, which is the kind of skating he does, was the worst part of it. Like nobody skated vert, and there was no demand for a Tony Hawk board. And this is 12 years ago. This isn't very long ago at all. He retired because he wanted to run his company, and he wanted to give his, he didn't want his company to go under, so he retired his own model. He's just a guy that really cares about skateboarding.
A lot of kids got into skating because they were playing our game, and they got exposed to the culture, and they got exposed to the possibilities of skateboarding. So I think in that respect, we've been able to make a genre of video games.
Everyone loves him. He's a media darling. He's the first guy to do a 900. 2.5 spins, 900-degree spin on a ramp. No one had done that. They'd been trying it for years and years and years. He's the first one to do it. And he did it in 2001, 2002. It was not too long ago that he did it. And the guy's, you know, he's 30 plus when he's doing this, inventing tricks that no one else can do still. So it's his legacy, but he's still in the middle of developing it.